What's up YouTube, PokePrimer here, proud and ready to deliver you our draft analysis for the BLU. I don't know what it stands for and I'm not going to look it up because I'm kind of lazy, I'm kind of tired, it's been a long day. Been team building probably for 3-4 different leagues for the past few hours. I still have a homework assignment I need to get done tonight, which won't take me any more than like 20 minutes, but that's not the point. Anyways, we are here with the draft analysis for the BLU. I did tell you guys we are going to be having a new league join the channel. Our last league to join is going to be this one because I'm not really the biggest fan of the other one. I don't want to give it publicity. So, anyways, not to be enough of a dick, but we're here. We got this draft going on, and I picked fairly. I had a fairly decently early pick, I think, on the first round. I'll have to look at the draft order if I can find it, but if I remember correctly, I had actually really good draft slot, which was really nice. Yeah, I had the 4th pick overall in the draft, so I got really fucking lucky on that note, and I was actually able to scoop up United Airlines. Before you see it, I did screw up the nickname week 1. You'll see what I did. I'm upset with myself because I thought this nickname was pretty dope. But we got United Airlines, the Mega Latios, because when you take a flight on this, you're going to get your ass beat. But this thing is fantastic. We voted on it this season, and we decided to unban the Mega Latios. So another one of the guys in the earlier rounds picked up Mega Latios, and I decided to pick up Mega Latios. So really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. I'm really happy to have this mon. Just its stats in general, it speaks for itself. Base 100 plus in everything but HP. That's enough to tell me that this thing's a stellar mon. Regular Latios is amazing. Just boost Latios' stats essentially, and it's fantastic. It can set up in a variety of different ways with the base 130 attack now. Dragon Dance is a fairly viable strat. Calm Mind's regular. It is a defogger as well, probably one of the better defoggers because of how threatening it is. It forces a lot of switches. It's really good Pokemon. Mega Latios is just a standout mon in general. This is really good. It's really just good in general overall. It's one of those really difficult mons to prep for and beat if you're not good enough to handle it. So really hyped to start the team with that. We are going to go now. Since I picked up a dragon round 1, you know how I am with my cores. I like to fill out my cores as fast as I can or as best as I can. And the first core, obviously, I'm going to do is my Fairy Dragon Steel core. So for my Steel type, I decided to scoop up a now becoming quickly favorite of mine, Metal Burb the Skarmory. Skarmory has done a lot of work for us in a lot of leagues lately here on the channel. I'm really falling in love with using Skarm. I'm really falling in love with using this mon. It has had several standout performances for me lately, and I'm very happy to have it in this league again. It really goes well with it pairs well with Latios in a way, and I can kind of work. Like, I can kind of start to afford, as you see some of my next couple picks, I can start to afford, a few ground weaknesses later in my draft because I do have 2 immunities to ground already. I also have, Latios resists the electric and the fire that Skarmory is weak to, while Skarmory resists the fairy, the dragon, the fairy and the dragon, and the bug. And yeah, fairy, dragon, and bug that Latios is weak to as well. It really helps a lot. We haven't gotten a chance to patch that ice weakness or the dark or ghost weakness, but we'll get there when we get there. I'm not too worried about it. I think we'll be fine. The next one we scooped up. I wanted my fairy type, but I also wanted something else. I also kind of wanted my cores to mesh together a little bit, so I didn't have like a whole separate Firewater Grass and Fairy Dragon Seal. I kind of wanted them to mesh a little bit. So I actually did decide to scoop up Tapu BLU. And you can see right here that Tapu BLU is going to be one of my Z users for this league. The way we are doing it is we have one Z user who we were basically doing the, I believe it's the, I don't know if it's, I think it's P4G. I think it's P4G that does it. Where we have two Z Crystal users that can only use offensive Z moves, and then we have a Z user that can use any Z moves. So I decided to go with BLU for one of my offensive Z Crystal users because of its stupidly high attack stat and access to a lot of really strong moves like Woodhammer with Stab, Grassy MZ, and Grassy Terrain is just absolutely disgusting. Mega Horn. I'll actually have to ask Garden Below the counts as an offensive Z move, because if it's so, that's an option that we have. Stone Edge for Continental Crush. All Out Pummeling through Superpower. Even has access to Shattered Psyche. Like, it has access to a lot of really good Z moves. So Tapu BLU is a really, really good option. Plus the Grassy Terrain is another thing that weakens ground type moves, especially specifically Earthquake. So it really, really is helpful for our team in general. Like, we're not going to be bothered by ground types a lot at all. Like, this team's going to basically just shut down most offensive ground types that aren't like special attackers necessarily. But overall, this is a really, really good Pokemon. Very bulky, very hard hitting. It's going to do some good work for us. Next up, we have Fat with the PH. We got Toxapex in this league, ladies and gentlemen. I wanted something to take those poison type moves and not be the only, and not have Skarmory be the only thing taking poison hits here on the team. So I decided to scoop up Toxapex. I just like Toxapex. It's a really good Pokemon, really fat, really bulky. Just kind of swaps around with that regenerator, so it's really, really useful in doing a lot of the things. Yeah, Pax is just good. It's just a good mon. There's no other way to describe it. It's just really, really fucking good. I'm really happy that I have it again in this league. Next up, I ended up in a situation I kind of goofed. I grabbed Decidueye because I was thinking in my head, I blanked on the fact that I had BLU. I blanked on the fact that BLU was a grass type. So I grabbed Decidueye trying to grab a grass type because I had Tangrowth, which I kind of wanted sniped from me, but I didn't get it, which is really unfortunate. But one other guy wanted Decidueye, and I was looking through at the things that was left in that tier later in the draft. He was like, "All right, I'll pick something up and trade it with you like immediately to grab Decidueye." And I was like, "All right, whatever, sounds good." So I actually asked him to grab me Ben 10 the Machamp. Ben 10 in this generation even got better. It used to be really fantastic because of No Guard. No Guard was stellar because you can hit things like Dynamic Punch, guaranteed hit Stone Edges, guaranteed hit just any move that typically never hits people because fucking Christ. If I know me, if I can miss a move, I will miss that move. And Guts got better this generation because Burn got nerfed to only doing 6% of health every turn instead of the 12% it used to do. Now you can put a Flame Orb on something with Guts, and it takes minimalistic damage every single turn, so that you don't have to worry as much. This thing basically will sit there and be barely chipped by the burn damage, while being able to hit significantly harder with basically having a free choice band while being able to switch up attacks, which is really, really nice. So with an exact attack stat this I love Machamp. It actually has very, very good natural bulk, as well as being able to hit stupidly hard, which is really, really useful, and I'm very, very happy that I have this mon on the team, because I haven't gotten a chance to really fuck around with any of the Guts mons. I don't ladder as much as I used to on Showdown, so I haven't gotten a chance to fuck around with any of these Guts mons, so I figure why not test one out in draft format, because it's the format I play the most. So, after this, I kind of wanted to start getting hazard removal, because I recognize that while I have 2 defoggers, I kind of wanted a spinner, because I like to spin. I like spinny spin, 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 spin. So I decided to pick up a good old friend of mine. I didn't want to name him Zanzibar like I always have. So I decided to just call him First Movie, because he is the only issue I have with the First Movie. Like, bitch, why the fuck you have a Donphan in the First Movie when the second generation ain't even been discussed in the anime yet? You causing some fucking time rift bullshit, Donphan, you crazy fuck. Insanity. Just insanity. Still upset with it today. But Donphan, y'all know, is an amazing rapid spinner. It gets priority in Ice Shard. It gets coverage in ways it should never, ever, ever get. Donphan has so much coverage and is so good at just walling certain things and blowing back certain mons. Even without attack investment, I've had matches where I literally just put this thing on the field and just click moves occasionally and something just keep dying. People just die in front of this mon. It is crazy. Crazy strong. Sturdy is amazing, so it's a rock setter too. We have stealth rocks on both Metal Burb and this thing so far. We also have toxic spikes with fat, which is great. So we have options upon options for hazards already, which is awesome. I love options for hazards. Just such a good mon. Just such a good mon. And it's now our also second knockoff user, so we have knockoff potential with the team as well, which is great. I love it. So, that we move on to our next mon. At this point, I was looking around, and the fire type wise, there wasn't anything really standing out to me, and the one I kind of was looking at, everyone else had that either couldn't afford it with their points, or already had their fire type, or could not get that specific tier. So I was fine in waiting like another round or so, just to be sure. And I wanted to grab a fast electric type now, so I can get it out of the way. And I actually decided to go with Raichu. Raichu is actually really, really good. Raichu's really, really good mon. Lightning Rod's an amazing ability, gives us an electric immunity on the team. I love it. Absolutely love it, love it, love it, love it. Raichu's great. Raichu's great. Really been killing it with Raichu on my free time in other leagues and such. I like Raichu a lot. It has a lot of potential. It actually is a Wish Passer as well, which I did not know that Raichu got Wish. I did not know that this thing got Wish. I did not know this. Did not know this. So I'm definitely going to try to take advantage of that. Just crazy. Just crazy. It's such a good Pokemon because of that specifically. Just because of that. And I'm really, really happy that I have it. I love Raichu. I just love Raichu. Just love Raichu. Look at this beautiful. And it's another knockoff user. It's a fucking beautiful Pokemon. It's so good. So good. Love Surge. The next up, we decided to grab my fire type, and we went with Sacred the Entei, which is another one of our Z Crystal users. Now, I actually decided to make this one our universal Z Crystal user for the team, because I have used it as an overall Z Crystal user in another league before, and it actually did a very, very good job for me a couple of times. Came in clutch doing some really crazy strats. So I just want to try it again here, see if I can make it work. I love Entei. Entei is a really good mon, really hard to switch into. Can't switch in your physical attackers because that 50% burn on Sacred Fire is always nasty. Don't want to deal with that shit. It's just a fantastic Pokemon. Fantastic Pokemon. I had a league battle the other day where somebody pulled out a Calm Mind Entei tech on me. Tried to pull that shit on me. It was really, really nasty set. Really dope set. I was really impressed by it. So, that's a potential thing. I might have to talk to him and see, what kind of situations I can put myself in to get that shit to work. So we got a lot of options with this mon. It's a really, really good Pokemon. And we'll see what happens with Entei going forward. I like Entei a lot, so we'll see what we can do. Next up, we have our last Z user, our other offensive Z user. And I'm interested to see what I can do with this one, because Spiritomb has a surprising amount of coverage moves that I didn't know about that I can actually toy around with. Spiritomb's very bulky on both sides. It only has one weakness in Fairy types, which we have 1, 2, 3 resistances to on our team, so I'm not too worried about that. I just put like a stab ghost. I put stab Z crystals on, but like you can use obviously more than that. It's a good Pokemon. I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted. A lot going on in my head at the current time, but we are okay with all of that. But we have obviously the basic coverage, like the Psychic stuff, Ghost and Dark and such, same type attack moves. When you scroll down here to these usually useless moves, this thing gets Water Pulse, this thing gets Silver Wind, Shockwave. I'm sure you have to run specific abilities to get some of them, but it gets Rock Tomb, Icy Wind. Like I can. It has to be a bit sneakier than others, but I can definitely pull off some wacky, crazy attacks with this Pokemon. I'm really, really looking forward to using it. This is going to be super dope. I just love Spiritomb. Spiritomb's a great Pokemon, so I'm really happy to have it. Once again, Forever Haunt is here. So to close things out, I just kind of was looking at typings, kind of what typings I wanted stabs of on my team, and I noticed that my team was a little bit physically offensive heavy. Some could be mixed, but like physically offensive, physically offensive, physically offensive, physically offensive, physically offensive. Majority have been physically offensive so far. So I actually went with Bangarang the X-Cloud. Exploud is known for being a monster. Specs Boom Burst is obviously a regular thing. Scrappy allows me to be able to hit those ghost types, which is really, really important. Because of the simple fact that ghost types would normally be able to wall this thing, but they can't do that because Specs Boom Burst can hit them anyway. While it might be slow, it can be built a little bulkier. It has amazing HP stat, and overall, Exploud is a fantastic Pokemon. It has really good coverage with things like Blizzard, Fire Blast, Focus Blast, Overheat. Just good moves, and with a decent physical attack stat as well. Like, people forget that this thing can be physical. Just because of Specs Boom Burst being a thing, it can be a physical attacker if I need it to be. Not saying I will, but if. Keep that thought in your minds, kids. Keep that thought in your minds. That'll be the heat set of the week one of these days. I swear to you. Alright, so along with Exploud, I wanted another special attacker. And I wanted an Ice type. And I couldn't find any Ice types that really tickled my fancy until I found Cryogonal. Flaky the Cryogonal. It's Levitate, so it's another ground immunity for the team. So not only are we weakening them Earthquakes with BLU's grassy terrain, we have the 3 immunities to ground type moves in Skarmory, Mega Latios, and now Cryogonal. Cryogonal is another rapid spinner as well, so that I don't have to completely put the roll onto Dawnfan all the time. While this thing is weak to rocks, predictions are a thing. It has base 135 SPDEF, and I can totally take advantage of that in certain situations. With a base 105 speed, another faster than 100 Mon, which is really, really useful for our team. Having access to Freeze Dry, which is probably, in my opinion, one of the best Ice type moves in the game, because of the fact that it does hit super effective on water types. This thing also, if I want to be cheeky, I could maybe run a Hail Aurora Veil set, but that's like super out there. But it has Haze to shut down setup mons. If something tries to set up in front of it, I could be like, no friend, how about you don't? It has a lot of good coverage up. It's another knockoff user just for the fun of it. It does get access to screens. It's a potential dual screener. It's got some okay coverage. Overall, like, Cryogonal is a good Pokemon. Very good low tier, low budget Mon. Really happy to have it. Just happy to have all these Mons. It's a really, really good team, I think. Really, really solid overall. It's not the best, but it's a nice little ragtag bunch of kids. Nice little ragtag bunch put together here. It's going to put in some work. So, yeah, with that, guys, though, I'm get out of here. You've seen the draft. And I'm going to go ahead and I hope you guys enjoy this league. The BLU is a good bunch of guys. I really enjoy working with a lot of them. They are really, really cool dudes. Just happy to have them. Just happy to have them here. Happy to be in this league. Just happy to be in it. Because they are overall a good, decent bunch of guys. So, with that, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Until next time, I'm PokePrimer. I'm signing